Good day to you all, comrades and friends. This is Global Weekly News, serial number 28. First, we are going to see the important developments in the year 2022. First, we go to Israel. In Israeli parliament, elections on 1st November, Benjamin Netanyahu got elected as prime minister. Far-right coalition has come to power in Israel. This is the fifth election in 4 years. In the 120-member parliament, no single party could get majority. On 29th December, Benjamin Netanyahu was sworn in as prime minister with the support of 64-member strong coalition of various parties, including his own Likud party. In New York Times, the columnist Thomas Friedman wrote that Israel's stability got destabilized. Itamar Ben-Gvir is the new security minister in Benjamin's cabinet. He belongs to Jewish Power Party. Many of the ministers are showing a policy of apartheid towards Palestinians. They say that there shall not be any Palestinians between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea. In 1994, Baruch Goldstein killed 29 Palestinians in Hebron. Well, his picture is in the house of the new security minister, Itamar Ben-Gvir. Al-Aqsa Mosque is in Jerusalem of Palestine. It's a holy place for Palestinian Muslims. Other religious people are allowed up to the compound only. They are not allowed to enter the mosque. This arrangement is agreed to by Israel in the understanding with Jordan reached in 1967. Far-rightist forces of Israel campaign for the demolition of Al-Aqsa Mosque and say that it is Mount Temple, holy place of the Jews. Israeli settlers, with the help of Israel security forces, attacked the Palestinians entering the mosque for their routine prayers. In the year 2022, 50,000 Israeli settlers attacked the mosque. Some violently entered the mosque also. Palestinians who were trying to stop them were shot dead. The new security minister, when not being a minister, led many times such attacks on this Al-Aqsa Mosque. Now, as the security minister, he did the same thing. Well, this is ridiculous. Hamas and Palestinian Authority have condemned this strongly. Comrades and friends, United Nations General Assembly passed an important resolution on 31st December 2022. 87 countries, including China, Russia, and the Arab states, voted in favor of the resolution. 26 countries, including USA, Israel, etc., opposed the resolution. 53 countries, including India, abstained from voting. The resolution was asking the International Court of Justice to provide an opinion on Israel's prolonged occupation, settlement, and annexation of Palestinian territory. Abi Mazow is the new education minister. He belongs to a party opposing the rights of LGBTQ, sexual minorities. Israel boasts that they are a democratic country, but Israel refuses freedom to LGBTQ, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender sex, etc. Violators of international laws have become the new ministers of Benjamin Netanyahu. So Israel, we have a strong far-rightist government. And 2022 is the worst year for the Palestinians. Israel has attacked Gaza territory many times, both in West Bank and Jerusalem. In Israel-occupied places, 170 Palestinians were killed, including 30 children, in 2022 alone. More than 9,000 got injured. Deaths of Palestinians are a daily occurrence. Israel government stopped publishing the names of the victims even. Israelis stigmatize Palestinians as terrorists and kill them. 16-year-old girl and a young boy were also killed. Shireen Abu Akleh, a US journalist, was shot dead by Israeli security forces. USA did not condemn this murder. Israel denied the murder by the security forces. Palestine Human Rights Organization came out with the forensic evidence. Then the Israel government said maybe she might have been killed, but denied any investigation into the matter. As per Israeli law, outposts are illegal, but Benjamin Netanyahu legalized the outposts. There are 4,700 Palestinians, including 150 children, inside Israeli jails. Nasser Abu Hamid, aged 50, died of cancer last week. He has been in prison from 2002 onwards. In 2021 October, it was found that he is suffering from cancer. Even then, he was not released on medical grounds. Since 2015, Israeli authorities refused to hand over the dead bodies of 118 Palestinians. If Palestinians release the Israelis in their custody, then only Israel will hand over dead bodies of Palestinians. And this has been made a law in Israel. On 27th December, thousands of Palestinians conducted a rally demanding the dead bodies. Comrades and friends, the second item we are going to see a strange thing. Nobel Peace Prize for warmongers. Nobel Peace Prize for the year 2022 is shared by three organizations. One is an organization evicted from Russia. Second is a dissident organization in Belarus. And the third one is to Alexandra Mitwik, representing Ukraine Center for Civil Liberties. All the three organizations are funded by US Endowment for Democracy. Before receiving the Nobel Prize, these three organizations got prizes from the Endowment for Democracy of USA. Alexandra Mitwik went to Oslo of Norway to receive the Peace Prize. In Oslo, in her speech, she demanded arms supply to Ukraine by Norwegian government. Thereby, Ukraine can continue its war with Russia. She did not utter a single word about negotiated settlement for peace. 5-member MP of Norway Parliament have selected the Peace Prize winners. Peace Prize for warmongers. Well, this is strange indeed. Comrades and friends, we go to Latin America, where important developments have taken place in the year 2022. First, let us go to Peru. Many zigzag developments have taken place in Latin America in the year 2022. In Cuba, family code was passed, enhancing family democracy. In Colombia, Gustavo Petro, leftist, got elected as the president. In Brazil, Lula da Silva, the Workers' Party leader, got elected as the president. In Peru, however, Pedro Castillo, leftist, won as president, but through a legislative coup, the rightist forces overthrew the rule of Pedro Castillo and put Pedro in jail. The judiciary extended the preventive detention up to 18 months. Vice President Dina Boluarte became the president. She declared emergency. People are demanding the release of Pedro since he was arrested on 7th December. There have been many demonstrations. So far, 28 people were killed by the repression of Dina Boluarte's government. Dina Boluarte government is supported by the media, the judiciary, rightist forces, and of course US imperialism. Many world leaders like Lopez Obrador of Mexico, Gustavo Petro of Colombia, etc. have demanded the release of Pedro Castillo and reinstatement of Pedro as the president. People of Peru have been conducting resistance struggles continuously against the Dina's government. Fourth, we go to Brazil. On 1st January 2023, 77-year-old and 2 times former president Lula da Silva of the Workers' Party, a leftist, was sworn in as the president third term. 3 lakh people attended the swearing-in gala ceremony. There were delegations from 120 countries, the highest so far in Brazil's swearing in ceremony. The former President Bolsonaro fled away to Miami 2 days before the ceremony. Some people felt that it is good that Bolsonaro left the country. What can Lula government do for the people? Well, it's a question mark. When the whole world, including Brazil, was affected by COVID-19, the then president of Brazil, Bolsonaro, said, "Oh well, COVID-19 is a small cold. It will not affect the people." He did not take any steps to produce the vaccine for COVID-19. Due to such a careless attitude of Bolsonaro, 7 lakh people died due to COVID-19. Many sections of people supported Lula da Silva. Ruling class bankers, they said, business was not good under Bolsonaro's rule. Foreign investments did not come to Brazil. Many people's organizations supported Lula. Lula spent 580 days in jail on corruption allegations. However, the Supreme Court acquitted him free. The supporters of Bolsonaro say that Lula's victory is a fraud. They conducted road blockades. They demanded military intervention. They even tried to create chaos in the swearing-in ceremony but failed. Lula promised hunger-free Brazil, poverty-free Brazil, etc. But rightist-led parliament will be an obstacle in carrying out Lula's promises. Lula will, however, intervene in international issues as he did in the past. He will try to solve the Ukrainian-Russia conflict. Lula will go to African continent and try his best for the progress of the African people. Comrades and friends, well, comrades, we are now in Africa. There have been coups in Gambia and Principe. There are 54 countries in Africa. Many zigzag developments have taken place in the year 2022. In December, Biden convened US-Africa Summit in Washington. In Congo, Democratic Republic, millions died due to internal conflicts and wars over many decades. Recently, M23 rebel group attacked the civilians. Rwanda is supplying arms to these rebels. United States, United Kingdom support Rwanda. For many decades, Rwanda and Uganda have been exploiting the natural resources of Congo. Congo's minerals are sold in the international market to serve fourth industrial revolution. In 2022, twice coups took place in Burkina Faso. French troops are stationed in many African countries in the name of fighting terrorism. Mali sent away all the French troops recently. Even French NGOs are not allowed to operate in Mali. Anti-French sentiment is growing. The French did not solve any of the problems. There were coups in Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Anti-French waves are not subsiding. The military rulers who have taken over power after the coups will face crisis if they do not fulfill the aspirations of the people. Western African People's Organization of various trade unions, People's Movement, Peasants' Movement was inaugurated with a new agenda. In Ethiopia, Tigray Liberation Front is defeated and civil war is about to end. But US is trying to prolong the civil war in Ethiopia. Ethiopia, Somalia are in the Horn of Africa, near the Red Sea. People's living conditions are not good in these countries. Imperialism intervenes in the internal affairs of African countries directly, militarily, and diplomatically. If people's organizations come together, they can solve many of their issues. Socialist China is playing a great role in the progress of African continent. Biden acted as the savior of Africa by convening Africa-US summit. But African countries won't be cheated by US dramas. In many African countries, especially in Zambia, plenty of copper, minerals, metals are available. But still, Zambia is after IMF loan and Washington money. As per the World Bank, 60% of developing countries are in debt distress. They are not able to pay back their debts. In many countries, debt crisis has been prevailing since 1980s. In 1990s, there was ballooning of stock markets. That time, debt crisis could have been solved. But no solution came out except further continued IMF loans. Due to conditionalities of IMF, infrastructure, especially construction activities, got reduced. Finally, comrades, we go to see the developments in Pakistan and Sri Lanka in the year 2022. In the year 2022, heavy rains, hurricanes affected Pakistan. Severe damages occurred. This is due to climate changes arising out of intensified exploitation of the environment by the developed countries. Pakistan government failed to invest in renovating its dams, canals and highways. In the COP27 climate conference at Cairo in 2022, there were many discussions, however, no fruitful results. Sri Lanka government signed 16 agreements with IMF so far. Ranil Wickremesinghe government has signed 17th agreement with IMF for a fresh loan of 290 crore or rather $2.9 billion in the first quarter of 2023. IMF loans are accompanied with stringent conditionalities. Sri Lanka government is reducing its military force. 16,000 soldiers will be sent out from the military. Already 3 lakh Sri Lankans went abroad in search of jobs. 16,000 soldiers having good training with arms, if they remain unemployed, what will happen? Anything can happen. You can't imagine. Not a healthy policy anyway. Thank you, comrades. See you next week. Lal Salam.